This was on my computer this morning. Had streamed right across for 1 hour, 28:44. Alex Jones, state-run legends, and FEMA prepares for mass fatalities. It had played up till here and stopped at 5:39. It's 1:28:44 long. Now 2844 is a associate, a companion, fellowship, partaker, a sharer of, in what? That was in Hebrew. Now we got a Greek, terror, dismayed, dread, fear, crushed, concretely, terror. The number 539 to build up or support, foster as a parent or nurse, to render true. Get an essence of that in Isaiah 30:21. Interchangeable with 541. That's 539 in Hebrew. 539 is delusion. This is in Greek. Deceivableness. Deceivableness. Deceit. From 538. I've said all along, 538 is to delude and deceive, to cheat. I've said all along about Alex Jones, who has had hundreds of people contact him about me, and he will not mention my name because he's part of it. His wife is Jewish. Now listen to what he says here.
The new InfoWars magazine, the new October issue, DARPA, the real Skynet, October surprise war, question mark, the end of humanity, rise of the robots, the elite's own words, how they plan to replace us with machines. This is an emergency transmission. And then the first issue from September, people that subscribe get this issue as well, and the next 12, and shipping is included free of charge at InfoWarsStore.com. InfoWars magazine, the economic collapse, banksters plot to destroy the U.S. economy in their own words. Banking cartel conquers America. History of false flag stage terror. Rome burned, will we? Since then, they've got fires and rioting all over Europe. We predicted that would happen. Print 2.0, the answer to the internet kill switch. These are great, thick magazines with great graphics to give friends and family to wake them up. I can't say it really supports the broadcast because the subscriptions and buying individual issues at bulk, we're selling them at cost as a pamphleteer like the founding fathers did, or my ancestors that came to Texas. Well, my dad's side in 1830, the others in 1825 or so, as the Texians. Shouldn't get off. I visited the Alamo again this weekend with my kids, and it's just really interesting that my family were the folks that brought in the Bibles and all the rest of it, really got the rebellion going. But that's a separate whole story. Protestant Bibles weren't allowed in Texas, but that's a side issue. We are living under an incredible tyranny. And if you want to get the magazines and get them out to people, they're available at cost at InfoWarsStore.com, along with the books, the videos, the T-shirts, all the rest of it. They're not at cost. Obviously, that's how we finance ourselves, is through the free market. We're not like mainstream media, most of them that get banker bailout money or stimulus money to give Rachel Maddow raises. Did you read about that? What is it, 500,000 of hundreds of millions that MSNBC got of taxpayer money as stimulus went to her. See, people are like, Alex, you shouldn't sell products you believe in to fund your operation. The biggest alternative media organization and most successful in the world now. You should just, be more moral and steal taxpayer money. Well, I'm sorry, I don't do that. Okay, I'm ranting. I'm done ranting about that. Yeah, their Labor Department spent $500G in stimulus on Green Job, Ad Blitz, on Oberman and Maddow. Yeah, that's separate from that. There was even whole other program there, and they got $500 million at MSNBC in banker bailout money. Okay, let's stop right there. If you just tuned in, Army Manuals Republic for re-education camps, mass arrests, gun confiscation, forced inoculation, type in clergy response teams. Every major church in the country that I know of, unless it's a private evangelical or private individual church, has been federalized under 501c3. And if you type in clergy response team, you'll see newscasts with preachers saying, we've been trained under martial law to tell you to turn your guns in and take shots and go to FEMA camps. I can play newscasts. There's multiple newscasts with them admitting it and saying it's a good thing. So if you're a new listener and you wonder why your preacher every Sunday's telling you to give in to government, do what you're told, turn your guns in, it doesn't matter if it's Catholic, Baptist, the churches where my parents have gone, they basically teach that, world government's a wonderful thing, and Bill and Melinda Gates hung the moon. It's just amazing. I was talking to some friends this weekend. They were talking about the Presbyterian church where they'd gone forever, which is super conservative, hung a red cloth, and this is happening nationwide at Presbyterian churches, not all of them, but most of them. The cross is now bad and hateful. So they can't show the cross in Presbyterian churches. I mean, we got taken over. World Council of Churches run by the UN, Rockefeller Foundation. They've got consultants at all the churches now. The federal government says if you want faith-based money, taxpayer money, even though Congress can make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, government cannot be involved. That's the separation of church and state. Now government flips it around and says, no, government has to run religion, and religion doesn't have any independence. That's what Thomas Jefferson said. No, Thomas Jefferson said the opposite. So you can't have state-run religion. But then they twist that, and then Christians don't like Thomas Jefferson because they've let the media lie to them about what separation of church and state is. Separation of church and state doesn't mean that First Baptists are the only religion here, or Muslims that happen to be Wahhabist, or Catholics. It means freedom of religion. That was one of the big things 1776 was about. That's what the Texas Revolution was really about, was the fact you couldn't practice anything but Catholicism in Texas. But that's another issue. It's the same fight over and over again. And I was talking, in fact, I'm going to send crews out to these Presbyterian churches, so send us links at whistleblowers@infowars.com or showtipsinfowars.com, because we've confirmed there's churches right in Central Texas which have now taken the crosses down. Because they're hateful. Oh, in Europe, they're banning reading passages out of the Bible they say are hateful. Canada has arrested preachers for saying homosexuality is wrong. Whether you agree with that or not, it's free speech. This is such authoritarianism. Every basic liberty is being overrun right now. Every basic freedom is being abridged right now. At every single level. It's happening right now. So I ask you, the listeners, why are they gearing up? What is the giant preparation for? Why are they gearing up? The economic collapse, giant war with Iran? Everything we said came true. Everything we've done has been right. Again, I just want to thank all the listeners, sponsors, AM and FM affiliates that make this broadcast possible, and our incredible crew, my wife and family, and of course the good Lord above. I was also talking to people about all the churches they're going to, friends and family, and they were talking about how, all these big mainline churches now say, we don't say the word Jesus, because that could be offensive at Christian churches. Or if we do, it's not Lord Jesus or Jesus Christ, it's just Jesus, our avatar, our spirit guide. I mean, no wonder the churches are collapsing. They've taken God completely out of it. I don't mean to start preaching here. It's just that this is a government takeover. This isn't happening on its own. We've got a lot of people on hold. Pete, Gary.
This is the same guy that won't let us speak for 1 second on his show. After they've had hundreds of emails from our supporters.
Yep.
Sherry in particular.
Oh, she's been on and on and on.
Well, he's part of it, as I said.
Has to be.
Well, he's now saying himself that he is the largest of this type of program in the world. What do you think of that?
Well, you only get to be the largest of anything in this world if you're following their agenda.
Exactly.